how do I create a new placeable actor in Unreal Tournament 3? Now, what do I mean by a placeable actor? Well, what I'm talking about is an actor that can be added to a level from within Unreal Ed. This is in contrast to a gameplay-only actor such as a projectile, which exists only as you're playing the game and as you're firing weapons. So what we want to do is set up a package containing a class that has a placeable actor which we can gain access to inside of Unreal Ed and place into a level. To do this, I need to set up a certain file within our test package that we've been building inside of our UT game. Now, I'm going to jump past some of the setup pieces. If you wish to figure out how to set up this kind of compilation scenario, check out the How Do I video covering the creation of new scripts. So what we're going to do here is we're already inside of a folder that is in the user documents folder under My Games and under Unreal Tournament 3. From here, we're going to jump into the UT game folder. Within UT game, we're going to jump into the SRC folder. You'll note that I've already created a test package folder, and within this we have a classes folder. Now, the class we're going to add is going to be called My First Actor. The idea of this class is that it is just going to be a placeable object. It's going to have no real functionality. It's just something we can gain access to and put into a level. I am going to go and add a variable to it that can be configured from within the editor. So what I want to do now is create the script itself. So I'll make a new text document. I'll call this text document My First Actor.uc. And then we'll open up this Unreal Script class in a text editor, and we can begin writing the code for the class itself. The first thing we need to do is type out the class declaration saying that our class is going to extend some other. And I'm going to talk about this for a second before I type it out. We're going to be using the info class as a base class, and the reason being is that an info class can be seen in-game when it's placed. It already has a sprite style icon associated with it. You are, of course, free to extend from actor itself, but keep in mind that the actor does not have any actual display information yet. So what we want to do here is type out our class declaration saying that class named My First Actor extends, and let me get the spelling on that, extends, and then we can specify the base class we wish to extend from. That is going to be the info class, and I'm going to add one further modifier, and that is the Placeable Modifier. Because the info by itself is not actually placeable, so we need to specify the placeable keyword to indicate that when inside of Unreal Ed we should be allowed to place this actor within a level. Alright, now I'm going to jump down to the next line. As a matter of fact, I'll skip a line. Now this line by itself could be used to compile the actor. If we were to build this class as is and use it inside of Unreal Ed, we would be able to see the actor within the actor class's browser and see it in the level once we placed it. I do want to go one step further and add a variable to it just so we can see some additional information inside of the properties window inside of Unreal Ed. So what I want to do is declare a variable, but I'll specify it using the var keyword so that Unreal Ed will show it inside of the property editor. So we'll do var open closing parenthesis followed by the type, which I'm going to use as int, and we'll call this variable myCount. Now, one other thing I want to show is the basic usage of the default properties block within an actor. Of course, default properties being the default values that an actor should gain as soon as it is created inside of the editor, or as soon as it's created in general. So I'm going to type out a default properties block. So we have an open and closing curly brace to indicate the block for our default properties. I'll tab over once, and we'll add in a setting for myCount, where we default myCount to a value of 5. This way myCount will actually start out at 5 after we add the actor, instead of starting out at whatever the default value is for integers. Now with this is all that I'm going to type up for the script. Again, very simple, really just to prove that we can in fact create an actor and use it inside the editor. So I'm going to save out the script, and at this point we would now need to go and run UT3 make in order to build the package. But just for the sake of recording, I've already done that off camera, meaning I've already run UT3 make and I've already created the package which can be viewed under the unpublished cookpc script folder where we have testpackage.u. So if we were to switch over to the Unreal Editor, we should now be able to bring up the Actor Classes browser. So we'll bring up the generic browser, switch to Actor Classes. We had created this actor as extending from info, so I'm going to expand the info section, and here we can see my first actor. So with that selected, I'll close the Actor Classes browser, right-click on a mesh in the level, and we're presented with the option to add my first actor here. So I'll add it into the level, and you can see it is using the default icon sprite for info itself, which of course we have been extending from info, and that's why we can see it here. Also, if we bring up this new actor's its properties, you can see we have a section called My First Actor. And inside of this, we have the value myCount, which is currently holding its default value of 5. So this shows not only how to get the actor in place, but also where one would go to show and expose information to the properties window itself. And with that, that wraps up this How Do I video.